heat and temperature. Clear? So when we rub the palms, what happened to us? When we rub the palms, right, we can feel heat between our palms. Here, right here, the work is done on the palms, as I already know that by the definition of work, the capacity, right, to do work is called energy. The capacity to do work is called energy. Here we are doing some work, so that along with that some energy is liberated. So that energy is liberated in the form of heat. So from this we can conclude that heat, it is a form of energy. It is a form of energy. Right? It is a form of energy. So that in our surroundings we may across so many objects, right? Some objects, if we touch those objects, we will feel some hot, and some objects we feel cold, right? So we come to know that those objects may be hotter or colder by touching it, because of we are able to sense the heat in an object, right? So that heat produced is a sensation in our body, so by which we can feel that whether the body is hot or cold, right? So heat is a form of energy. Remember, heat always flows from body of higher temperature to lower temperature, hot body to cold body. This heat always travels from hot body to cold body only. Clear? So general energy effects of heat energy, right? So due to this heat, the change in temperature occurs. The change in temperature occurs here. Second one. So due to the change in temperature, the change in dimensions will possible. Change in dimensions. That means length, breadth, height, etc. may change. Whenever the length, breadth and height changes, so that obviously the object's dimensions will change, right? And due to this heat, the change in state is also possible. Change in state. Change in state means either liquid, solid or gaseous form, right? Take the ice cube. If you give some amount of heat energy, so that ice cube gets converted into liquids. So solid state to liquid state. So if we heat that water up to 100 degrees Celsius, so that water gets turned into vapor. So that liquid state to gaseous state. So this is possible by applying heat energy, right? And also that heat brings about that chemical change. Change occurs in, brings the chemical change. Brings the chemical change. Chemical change. So this heat is necessary and it affects on all the living beings. Clear? Next, sources of heat. What are the sources of heat? In which by where we can get the heat? So to get the heat, one and only the natural source is sun. Sun is the main source of heat energy to the earth. Source. The main source is sun. Sun is the main source, natural source to the earth. So along with this, we have so many sources of heat energy, right? By burning the fuels like wood, coal, petroleum, coal, petroleum. Okay. Petroleum usage means like kerosene, oil, petrol, diesel, etc. And burning of any materials so that we will get that heat energy. We will get that heat energy. So remember here, so the body of the heat always comes from body of higher temperature to lower temperature. So in the it means here the body loses the heat energy. So this the losing heat energy will gain by the cold body. Will gain by the cold body, right? So coming to the units of heat energy, because as I already said that heat is a form of energy. So what are the units does the energy contains? So all those units does the heat has. Coming to the units, the SI unit for heat is joule, because heat is a form of energy, right? So another commonly used unit is calorie. Other unit is calorie. Joules. CS unit of energy is erg. Erg is also used to measure that energy. But here other units we will use, generally we used unit is calories. Here. So 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules. 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 joules. Right? 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 joules, and 1 kilojoule is equal to 4200 joules. 1 kilojoule is equal to 4200 joules. Right? And remember, energy is a scalar quantity, so that heat is also a scalar quantity. Right. Next one is about temperature. So temperature can be defined as the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Hotness or coldness of a body. So whenever we touch a body, right, that body is hot body. Let's say the body is hot body. So we feel warm, right? And we say that that object has more temperature. We cannot say exactly what the temperature is, but if we touch that hot body and cold body, definitely we can say the differences. Whose temperature is more? Which body's temperature is more? Right? Why? Because so when we touch the hot body, the heat energy, as I already said that the heat always travels from body of higher temperature to lower temperature. So whenever we touch this hot body, here compare our body and this hot body, the hot body has more temperature, so that heat from hot body to our body passes, so that we feel that body is hot. If we touch this cold body, right? So here if we compare the cold body and our body has more temperature than the cold body, so the heat from our body flows through the cold body, so that we feel somewhat cold. Okay. So for suppose there are two bodies, these two bodies, okay, these two bodies brought together, body 1 and body 2. So let's say body 1 temperature is more than body 2. Body 1's temperature is more than body 2. So here, whenever the body temperature is more, the heat energy from body 1 passes to the body 2. The heat energy from body 1 passes to the body 2 till the body 1 and body 2 temperature remains same. This is what we call as thermal equilibrium, right? It is thermal equilibrium. So if you brought the two bodies nearby, if one body temperature is more than the other body, and if we place together both, right, so the temperature from higher body will passes to the next body, second body, till the both bodies temperature will remain same. This is nothing but thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium. So thermal means heat, equilibrium, equal position. So thermally the two bodies should be in equal position. So by this we can say that the heat always flows from hot body to cold body till if you brought the two bodies nearby, till the two bodies temperature will remain same. Once that two bodies temperature will remain same, there will be no hot body and there will be no cold body, because the two bodies temperature will be same, so that the temperature will neither transfers from one body to another body, because of two bodies temperature will remain same, right? So coming to the units, the temperature as a unit is Kelvin. As a unit of temperature is Kelvin, right? We have other units also. Other units as degrees Celsius, degrees Fahrenheit. So not only Kelvin, we will use degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. These are the units for temperature. Remember, heat is a scalar quantity, so the temperature is also a scalar quantity, right? Heat always flows in the direction of temperature. Temperature, in what way the temperature flows, so that the heat always flows in the direction of temperature. Here. Next one is differences between heat and temperature, right? Heat is a form of energy. It is a form of energy, and it has the ability to do work. Has ability to do work. It is a form of energy and it has the ability to do the work, right? And it is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. The degree of hotness or coldness of a body, which means it says that how much amount of hot or how much cold the body is, right? Next, heat is the cause. It is the cause. Due to this cause, it is the effect. Temperature is the effect. Heat is cause and temperature is effect. Heat is caused due to energy, so that due to this heat the temperature will produce, right? So first suppose if you take two substances, these two substances, same substances, may having different mass, right, have the same amount of heat but different temperature, right? So two masses of different having same heat but different temperature. Here two masses of two different masses, right? For suppose two bodies, let's we call this as, so simply we call two same substances of having different mass may have the same heat but different temperatures. If you take the two substances are same substances, these two are same substances but having different masses, these two may have same heat but the temperature may vary. In this case, same two same substances of different masses may have same temperature but different heat. This is possible in both the cases. The heat may same for two same substances of having different masses, but the temperature may vary. The heat may be same, the temperature may be vary. The temperature may be same, the heat may vary. Right? Even though the two bodies have the same heat, the temperature varies. Or if the two bodies having the same temperature, the heat may vary. Right? Next. SI unit is joule. SI unit is joule. SI unit is Kelvin. So these are the main differences between heat and temperature. Thermometer. Thermometer, it is the device which is used to measure the temperature, right? Thermometer is the device which is used to measure temperature of a body. It is used to measure the temperature of a body. Here. So this thermometer, it is a Latin word. In Latin, thermo means heat. Thermo means heat. And meter means a measuring device. Meter means measuring device. Measuring. So the device is used to measure the heat. Thermo means heat. So which measures the device which is used to measure the heat is known as thermometer. Clear? And this thermometer is made of so many types. Clinical thermometer. Thermometer, laboratory thermometer, maximum minimum thermometer, right? Digital thermometer, right? So that's clinical thermometer. So clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of human beings. Clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of human beings, whereas the laboratory thermometer is used to measure the temperature of objects. Temperature of objects. 6 maximum minimum thermometer which is used to measure the temperature of maximum minimum thermometer is used to measure the temperature of a day. So these are the diagrams which are similar, right? It is U-shaped. The U-shaped is 6 maximum minimum thermometer. It is used to measure the temperature of a day, because a day has maximum and minimum temperatures. So inside there is a liquid. This liquid is nothing but mercury. We use the mercury as a thermometric liquid. So if the temperature increases, the mercury level increases to the maximum side, so that we can note the reading. If the temperature decreases, the mercury level decreases and it falls to the minimum side, so that we also can read the reading. So it is the maximum and it is the minimum side. Whereas the laboratory thermometer is used to measure the temperature of objects 0 to some, let's say 100. Right? These are the scales. It is used to measure the temperature of objects, and clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of human beings. Temperature of human beings. These both will look like similar, but it is clinical thermometer and it is laboratory thermometer. The main differences between clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer is laboratory thermometer has hook, whereas clinical thermometer does not has hook. And clinical thermometer has kink. It is called as kink. Inside the thermometer there is a capillary tube. It is a capillary tube. In this capillary tube the mercury is filled. This capillary tube has a bend at the starting. This bend we call as a kink. This kink will contain only by the clinical thermometer, whereas the laboratory thermometer does not has the kink. Does not contain kink. Clear? And while measuring this, we can measure the temperature of a body with the help of this clinical thermometer in any position. Whereas this laboratory thermometer should be measured in horizontal direction only, because it does not have kink. So if you take it in vertical position, if you place the thermometer in between the objects, of course the temperature mercury level rises, but whenever we remove the object, so that the reading may fall down immediately. That is not possible in this case, because it has kink, so mercury will not fall immediately. Now that while we are measuring with the help of a clinical thermometer, we must make a jerk before measuring any body's temperature, because it contains kink. So initially if we take someone's reading with the help of this temperature, let's say the marking is up to here. If you want to measure the next body's temperature, we must jerk it, otherwise the mercury level will not fall down, so that mercury level reading will continue from this previous reading. So in order to bring the mercury to the initial position, we must jerk it. Right? Next, so this clinical thermometer to measure the body's temperature, if it is break while measuring the body's temperature, if we keep it in mouth, so that mercury may enter into our body, it may affect the body. So in order to remove this effect, there is another thermometer, that is digital thermometer. That is digital thermometer. So digital thermometer and this thermometer purpose is same, but here we use mercury, but here not any metals are not there, because it is in digital format. If we keep that at that body at where the temperature we have to measure, so that we can directly observe the reading in the digital format. by using some electronic device, heat absorbing sensors, right? And thermometer is thermistor thermometer. Thermistor thermometer. This thermistor thermometer is used to measure the temperature of infants. Infant means children. Thermistor. It is also an electronic device. Thermistor. It is the combination of two devices. Thermo. Heat sensor. Here heat sensor is stir. That is half of the form of resistor. Thermistor. Right? The resistor which measures the temperature. Right? That is thermistor thermometer. Clear? And this thermometer was first invented by the scientist. Do you ever know that? Galileo Galilei. It was invented by the scientist Galileo Galilei. Right? So in the year 1593 AD. Actually, we are using the thermometers with the mercury as a thermometric liquid. But the first thermometer was invented by Galileo Galilei. In that, he used gases as a thermometric liquid. As a thermometric liquid. He used gas instead of liquids. Mercury, right? So this thermometer works on the principle is substances expand on heating and contracts on cooling. Based upon this principle, the thermometer works. What is the principle? Substances expand on heating and contract on cooling. Whenever if we give the heat energy to a substance, that substance will get expands. Whenever if we cool the object, that object should contract. Based upon this principle, the thermometer works. And in the next class, we will see that the properties of mercury, why we are using mercury instead of water, and the construction of a thermometer and different scales, right?